It's time to draw more Sprunki OCs as humans. There's an endless sea of Sprunki OCs with some really crazy ones. And when I saw these guys, I just had to draw them. So let's dive in and let's get Sprunki. First up is Tox, but don't get too close to them. Tox is an OC made by Pyramix that was added to the Sprunki Pyramixed mod as a bonus character. They appear as a dark green radioactive cat with giant ears, olive green eyes, and crooked whiskers. A yellow radiation symbol can also be seen on their chest. Their music is called Meow Synth. It sounds very low and electronic. Tox's horror version is now much darker, with their mouth completely split apart, now showing their row of super sharp teeth. You can see a bright green radiation substance leaking from the mouth, and the radiation symbol is now glowing. Their pupils have shrunk, and it seems like some of their eyes have decomposed in some way in some areas. The music is now heavily distorted. It's stated that the clicking noises and the horror sound is actually directly referencing a gauger counter, something that detects high levels of radiation. We don't know whether or not they're dead or alive, but Tox definitely isn't normal anymore. Though I guess a radioactive cat isn't too normal to begin with unless you're playing Minecraft. We could say Tox got severe radiation poisoning, but that theory wouldn't make sense, as according to their creator, Tox is literally made of 100% radiation to begin with. All we can know for sure is Tox somehow got corrupted. They're non-binary, and judging from some of the art in the gallery, Tox seems like a very friendly and goofy fella. For their human design, I wanted to draw them with silly dude vibes. There actually is a drawing where Tox is wearing human clothes, so we do have a little idea of how they dress, but I had my own idea. Because Tox is pure radiation, I decided to give them the opposite of a radiation suit. So instead of protecting from radiation, this suit actually absorbs the radiation so it can't harm others. I also thought it'd be really cool if they had a radiation symbol in their eyes, and I was right. It does look cool. Not gonna lie, I was thinking of Deku from My Hero Academia when I drew this. Maybe it's because of the color palette. By the way, if anyone points this out, I know there isn't a helmet around their head like an actual containment suit, so let's just pretend there's a force field keeping the radiation in. I just forgot. Their hair is dark green, with some of the hair sticking up to resemble the cat ears, and it's very fluffy. For phase 2, the suit is now broken open, as the radiation levels became too powerful even for the suit. Here is human Tox. Next up is Semihemi, created by Trinity. Semihemi appears to be a fusion of two different Sprunkis, hence to why their name literally means half and half, with one side being blue and the other being pink. The only main difference being one having eyelashes. They both take turns singing, with Pink singing in a feminine low voice, and eventually switching to Blue, with Blue proceeding to sing in a very deep tone. While they both take turns in normal mode, in horror mode, they both sing in unison, with the head now split in half, revealing a long sharp tongue in the middle with two rows of very sharp large teeth. Both of their eyes are now pitch black, and when they sing, the tongue shakes violently along with their entire body. Kind of looks like a chain chomper, not gonna lie. We don't know their full status, but it's safe to assume Semihemi is aggressive and will probably eat other Sprunkis. If they took a bite of blood, his whole head would come off. Simon ain't got nothing on that. If I had to take a good guess on what happened, I'd say Black used his dark magic to turn them violent, which is probably most likely what happened with Simon, and why he looks like a horse. But instead, these two look like Pac-Man on a bad day. Or they could have revealed their true colors, and may very well have been evil the whole time. Unfortunately, we don't get much info about these two. By the way, content farm videos are not canon, so leave your theories in the comments. Either way, this is gonna be one of my favorite Sprunki OCs I've seen so far. It's so unique, and I love the design. I imagine Semihemi's human form to be someone with two different minds in a single body. I drew Pink's half with purple ponytails, and I also noticed when the blue half turns over, the hair is now pointing upwards, so I gave their side a more spiked hairstyle. Their hair is both pink and blue, and I also included some purple streaks in their hair, since that was their original hair color. When the pink side sings, their eyes appear more joyful and energetic. Meanwhile, when blue sings, their expression is more chill as their eyes are half closed. So I made sure to match those personalities with their human form. It was definitely a bit of a challenge to make them look right, since each side has a different facial expression, but I think I did a pretty good job overall. For fashion, they're wearing a two-tone hoodie. Blue has their hand in their pockets, all chilled and relaxed, while Pink looks really excited and enthusiastic. I know they're technically one person, but I imagine Blue to be a protective and supportive sibling towards Pink. And lastly, since Semihemi has split skin tones, I did the same with my drawing, kind of like vitiligo. I think their design turned out super cool and I had so much fun drawing them. By the way, making the horror version was kind of traumatizing. Here is human Semihemi. Now let's draw Bit, once again from the creator Alarm Clock. This dude just makes really good characters and animations. Bit appears as an 8-bit style blue Sprunki and has a square head, which is very different from the usual round Sprunki heads. 4 triangles sit on each corner, and their face is also made of pixels, with a very happy looking smile. Their music is various 8-bit sounds. In phase 2 though, Bit isn't so happy anymore. Their right eye has now turned into an X with several cracks on their face. The triangles are now very crooked and broken, and the rest of their face just looks corrupted. The music went from nice to very chaotic and alarming. If I had to guess, considering Bit is electronic, they may have been corrupted somehow. Maybe someone managed to hack into Bit's programming and did something they clearly were not supposed to do, like adding a virus or malware. Or Wenda could have just smashed their eye with a hammer, which permanently damaged them. Don't really know what happened to this fella. But we do know that Gold's suit managed to somehow crush him alive, and his suit was electronic, so there is a possibility something within Bit themselves corrupted their own body. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. This Sprunki's design and music is very cool, and also a bit cursed because their head is square and not round. I think they'd be great friends with Garnold and Funbot. For the human form, I really wanted to keep the shape of Bit's head in some way, so I gave them a helmet which looks very similar. I did my best to also keep their outfit looking more electronic, and I felt like they'd have more classic arcade vibes. There's a cool 8-bit design on their short sleeve hoodie, paired with arm warmers that also have an 8-bit line going down the sleeve. I think this turned out super cool. Here is human Bit. Next up is Inky, made by Cookie Spartan. This Sprunki is a little more unique, as the creator of this OC based it off of a comment idea. Inky's appearance is similar to a cat-like creature and is made completely of black ink, having white eyes and a cute smile. She can transform into any shape she wants, and her body is very elastic, even being able to split into several parts. When singing, she makes a really cute high-pitched noise, very similar to a squeaky toy, and repeatedly changes shape while doing so. However, her horror version is the complete opposite. Inky turns into a giant blob monster, having an extremely large mouth with fangs that take up most of its body. The inside of its mouth looking like a black hole. Its eyes are red and stares into your soul. Bro, this isn't even a Sprunki anymore. This is like a Sprunki. When creating sound, it shakes violently. Yeah, that's Semihemi. I don't even know what to call that sound, but it's freaky. It's safe to say Inky isn't on the good side, and she'll probably eat your hamster and your house. Being able to shapeshift, it's very possible this could have been her normal form the whole time, and she may have been disguising herself as an innocent Sprunki all along. And in reality, she was probably planning on eating the other Sprunkis. That's my theory anyway. That being said, Inky is super cute, and I've never seen a Sprunki made of ink before. Since it's her main feature, in her human form, her hair is also made of ink. I turned her big ears into giant ponytails, and she's wearing an oversized long sleeve t-shirt that covers her hands for that cutesy vibe. Honestly, I feel like she'd shop a Hot Topic. You can't fully tell because I didn't draw the full body, but she is very short and small. I think if Inky had any friends, she'd be super clingy towards them and get overly excited about everything. The monster version was super easy to draw because it's literally just a blob. It's so funny how different they look side by side. Anyways, here is human Inky. Last but not least is Mercury. This is another OC made by Trinity. Mercury appears as a happy light gray Sprunki that's themed after a thermometer and is wearing a striped blue scarf around his neck. When he sings, we can see the thermometer temperature going up and down to the rhythm of the music. This sound is so nice to listen to, and I think it goes really well with the other Sprunki. In phase 2, Mercury is now ice cold. Literally, icicles can be seen frozen onto his face as he's gritting his teeth from being so frozen. His scarf is also now torn at the bottom, and when the music plays, we can see the temperature on the thermometer is much lower than before, sometimes being completely empty. Then suddenly, he switches to being extremely hot, with his face turning completely red and panting while the thermometer shows dangerous levels of high heat. This is actually referencing the planet Mercury having the most extreme temperatures in the solar system, with daytime there being up to 800 degrees, and nighttime dropping as low as -290. So, if the world ever ends, we're definitely not going to Mercury. But still, he was normal before, so why suddenly these extreme temperatures? Maybe he was stranded on the actual planet Mercury left to die, or it could have also been a malfunction with his suit if his suit does have anything to do with his internal temperature. Or maybe he is literally meant to be the actual planet Mercury, and these temperature changes are his mood swings. Let me know your theories in the comments. Anyways, I really like his design, and his music fits very well into Sprunki. For the human design, I kept it very similar to the original. Many Sprunkies usually have an accessory or shape on their head, but this dude is a straight up circle, so I made his hair a bowl cut for that round look. I don't know about you guys, but to me it also looks like he's wearing a hood, so I included that in this human form too. I turned his outfit into a long winter jacket with that same thermometer design, and on each sleeve I put lines for hot and cold. I think he turned out really cute. Here is human Mercury. Hey broskies, thanks so much for watching. I finally did another Sprunki video after taking a break. I might consider making another one if you guys really want to see one, so comment if you do, and also be sure to like the video, and let me know your favorite Sprunki in this video. Okay, bye!